What's going on, Legion fans? Welcome to another episode of Comic News. We got a special one for you guys today. So, roasted Womp Rat or blue milk?
Definitely roasted Womp Rat. Why not?
They look good.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about Star Wars today. Mandalorian, in fact. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so today we are diving into all things Mandalorian in honor of the new Mandalorian season. Now, at the recording of this episode, there have been 2 episodes released.
Yeah.
And we know that when this episode gets released, when we give out our next podcast, there will be 3 episodes out. So some of these things we talk about, they might be wrong, or they might be answered, or you know what? Knowing our track record, we could just be right about everything.
They're going to be dead on.
Dead on.
They're going to be dead on is what it's going to be.
Yeah, probably.
Greg, before we jump in on this,
I
feel like we need to address why are we, as comic book enthusiasts, why are we discussing The Mandalorian?
So The Mandalorian, Marvel has produced, and some other comic companies as well, have produced various Star Wars comic books that are offshoots of the original trilogy, and then they've done some more recent ones that center around the new trilogy and also some of the prequels. So there have been comic books that surround the lore of Star Wars, and especially in places like the side characters, like the Mandalorians. And so a lot of the lore of Mandalore comes from comic books and the extra texts like the Timothy Zahn books and the Dark Empire series and things like that. So Star Wars isn't just TV and movies. It also has some roots in comic books. And the Mandalorians have a lot of ties that aren't really told in the movies, but are told in our comic book runs. So that's why we're tackling it.
We know what we're talking about.
Man. Well, we do like Star Wars.
We do like Star Wars.
And
we love it.
Because we like Star Wars, this episode is actually
some of Star Wars.
Well, this episode is kicking off a series that we're going to be doing in the next few months.
That's right.
Where we're going to be tackling episodes 7, 8, and 9 in our comic correction segment. And Logan has so aptly titled it
The Star Wars Correction Saga.
Yeah.
So we are going to bring justice to 7, 8, and 9 because we cannot stand them.
Terrible.
I've got 3 children, a 4th on the way, and they will not know 7, 8, and 9.
It ends at 6.
It ends at 6, and then you go into The Mandalorian. That is all my children will know. That is all that they will know because 7, 8, and 9 are a travesty.
I don't have any children, but if I ever do, they also will never know anything past episode 6.
The only thing that they will know is that Uncle Geg and Dad brought justice to the Star Wars universe with the Star Wars Correction Saga.
Yes, so be on the lookout for that. In the next couple of months, we're going to be dropping them as we end 2020 and jump into 2021. We'll be bringing those to you guys. It should be a lot of fun.
We're also going to be bringing in some guest hosts with us
who
know even more about Star Wars because they've done that research.
Yeah.
And some of them are even more heated than we are.
Yeah, we had to tap into the resources.
Some actually like them, and I do not understand it, and they're going to get reamed out on here.
It will be somewhat polite.
Kind of.
Well, maybe. I'll be polite. And this is something that is... we'll actually talk some of our topics today about The Mandalorian have some pretty direct ties to comics and different comic book runs about different Mandalorians. And so... we're going to give our best guesses about where this series is going and where we want it to go and where we think they might be taking us. This is a great, great show. If you haven't watched the first season, go see it. The second season is great, and just so that you're all aware, there will definitely be spoilers from this time forward. So if you want to skip ahead to the next episode and not listen to the rest of this, go for it. If you have not watched the first season or the second season, get on those episodes so that you don't get anything ruined for you. So that's our last spoiler warning before we jump into the nitty-gritty. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so Mandalorian theories and hopes that we want to see in the series coming up. We'll start out with the big guns.
Yeah, so I knew.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to believe me. I knew Boba Fett was still alive.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it. But I knew it for a different reason.
Why'd you know?
Here's why I know. And you're gonna get really angry.
I
at this,
probably
and
am.
I'm very excited about
All
it.
right.
I don't see the big deal of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I don't see what the big deal is with why he's looked at as being so cool.
Yeah.
The man fell in a Snarlek pit, and now he's dead, and then he's not.
Okay.
Because guess why? No one ever dies. No one ever dies. I've said it a million times. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody ever dies. However, I always felt Boba was this overrated character that you don't even actually see that much in the movies. You see him more in offshoots. You see him more in the other storylines and in some of the animated TV series. But you're not. I don't see him as that big of a deal and that cool.
Okay, so first off, it's Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit.
Not Snarlack.
Snarlack.
It's not a Snorlax.
It's not a Snarlax?
It's not...
Snarlax? What, I said it wrong?
It's Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit.
All right.
Said it wrong.
Second.
How dare I?
How dare you? But no, Boba Fett was an anomaly. So when Boba Fett was created, when people first saw him in the original trilogy, they latched on to his character design. The armor was really cool, and people just thought, man, there's got to be more to him. And I don't think George Lucas really had a whole lot more to him at that point.
They didn't do anything with him.
Right, because it's one of those weird things where fans latched on to what he looked like and just the thoughts of, oh, he could be so cool. And since then...
He got more on Django.
Well, but that was because of Boba Fett's popularity. So the Boba Fett comic books that we'll reference in this podcast came out before the episode 1, 2, and 3. And so people had already had this obsession. Writers like Timothy Zahn and other writers who wrote like extra canonical at that point. Now it's now it's Star Wars Legends. They latched on to this character and the idea of, well, maybe he had more of a code, or maybe he came from something greater, or this just a play off of a really great character design, which I think is cool because it's like whoever that dude was that created the armor for Boba Fett, man, he was like, I don't think he ever could have imagined how much would have spawned out of that character design, because he really wasn't supposed to be this huge thing in the first trilogy.
I get that, and I hear what you're saying. Except they did a super disjustice to him because he's just not there that much. And you don't get that much from him.
Right.
Like, he's just kind of around.
Well, they're making up for it now.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's my point is, if they're going to do a whole TV series called The Mandalorian, and then Boba's not in it.
Well, we'll get there in a minute, because I've got a question for you about that. But first... he obviously survived the Sarlacc pit. How do you think he survived? Well, I want to get your opinion first. I know Logan hasn't read the comics that show him surviving, and I don't think you've read the Dark Empire books that talk about him surviving.
No.
No. So I want to hear what you think.
Cool.
Like, I want to hear how you think he survived.
Well, first off, so we know his armor is incredibly tough, so we can assume that his armor played into it to some extent.
Right.
The other thing that I think, it's not just surviving the pit.
Right.
Like, they drove super far out there to get to the pit.
Right.
And so he had to not just get out of it, he had to actually, then survive the walk and the trip and the trek back.
Sure. Well, he hasn't gotten back yet. It seems like he's still out there.
Well, he may have just been living out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, so his armor was with the Jawas, so they just roll up on different scenes at different points and could have fished him out.
Yeah, they're scavengers. Yep, for sure.
He survived longer in the pit, in the stomach, because of his armor, and they could have fished him out.
Right.
Trying to recover his armor, and then he traded his armor for safe passage back with the Jawas.
Yeah.
That's one idea. Another would be firing off the rocket on his back to being able to kill the Snarlack, and I'm gonna just say it on purpose.
Yeah, I know you are. I thought you were. It's Sarlacc.
The Sarlacc.
Sarlacc.
So they alluded to in this in the first episode
Right.
that they've never seen an empty
Yes,
or
I was gonna bring
abandoned
that up, yeah.
Sarlacc pit.
Yep. Unless
the Sarlacc was killed
Yes.
in the pit.
Right.
So Boba could have killed the Sarlacc
I
from
was
the
thinking the same thing.
inside,
Right.
worked his way out through it,
Yeah.
and then escaped out of the pit.
Right. Okay, good. Wow, you're actually really close.
Really?
Yeah, you actually
Nailed
are.
it. Awesome.
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying, at least because who knows if they'll actually do what's in the books or the comic books, because again, those are now considered Star Wars legends, so they're non-canonical, so they don't have to take anything from there. They've obviously taken stuff from there in the past, so they might.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Even the things that they call canon, they haven't necessarily pulled from correctly. So
of course, yeah,
let's own that here, because
yeah, Star Wars
we got
is a bit
some
of a
stuff
mess
coming up here.
Yeah, it's true. So the prevailing story, because it's a little bit different in the comics and in the novel, the prevailing story of how he got out of the Sarlacc was that he was undigestible because of the Beskar armor. So the Beskar armor is too tough; it can't penetrate the Beskar armor to kill him. So Boba Fett caused the creature to choke on him and have to kind of like vomit him up towards the mouth. Okay. And as he vomited him up, he broke free of the esophagus wall, and he used his
jetpack.
No, he used the grenades that were on his person to blow a hole in the side of the Sarlacc. Right. So yeah, so really, really similar. Now in the comics and in the novel, the Sarlacc didn't die. So the Sarlacc still survived. It was wounded, and Boba Fett was ejected from the Sarlacc pit. So now that doesn't mean that Sarlacc didn't die later from the wounds. He might have, or it might have. Or it doesn't mean that in the Mandalorian series they didn't have Boba just finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
But we get to, and this is actually going to be a really good segue, because we get to the part where you said that he traded with the Jawa to get back to civilization, trade his armor. So in the comics, he was so beat up from his journey through the Sarlacc's throat that when he hit the sands, he was unconscious, and the dunes slowly kind of eroded over him. And the Jawa found him unconscious and stripped him of his armor and left him out there. And so they stole it from him. He didn't barter. But if he does barter, which I think could be a real possibility, that raises my next question for you. Is Boba Fett actually a Mandalorian?
I don't know, man. And if he did barter,
then
not anymore.
Then he's given up being a Mandalorian.
He's given up being a Mandalorian.
Or was he ever one? Because if you look at Din Djarin, I think Din Djarin would rather, if it's anything from the first season, right, he was going to die rather than even have the robot take off his mask, right? So they don't lose their armor. Right. He'll die out in the wilderness before bartering for comfort.
So I think there's a couple of things there.
Yeah.
So first off, we know Boba's a clone.
Right. Was Django a Mandalorian?
And then the answer there is no.
Right.
Because Django he had his mask off all the time. All the time.
He showed everybody his face.
He showed everybody his face.
Yeah.
We saw it plenty of times in the in episode 2, the Clone Wars. We saw him a ton.
Yeah.
And his face a ton.
Yeah.
So no.
Right.
The answer could be no.
Yep.
He actually didn't even treat the armor like super well.
Right.
Django. If you remember, like he had it tucked in like a closet. And Boba like hid it from Obi-Wan when he came to interview him.
Right.
So
and Mandalorians are proud of their armor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So my answer
is
probably no. Here's the other side of that.
Okay.
You have to remember Django's killed by Mace Windu.
Yes.
And he and Boba is very young at that point.
Yes.
At that point, the Mandalorians could have gotten him, trained him, and then developed him to be an actual Mandalorian at that point.
Right. I think that, so that's my theory as well. I think he's a foundling. So just like Din Djarin was, I think after everyone left the planet from Star Wars Episode 2, Clone Wars, and he was left with his father's head
in his hands,
and they all leave. I believe that eventually the Mandalorian Death Watch came and rescued him, as they did many of the other foundlings. As we saw them, they had the Death Watch insignia on their arms when they rescued Din Djarin in the flashback. So I think they did the same thing, and that's going to create a connection between Boba and Din Djarin, that we're going to see they're both foundlings. And one has been stripped of his honor, and the other is still holding on to his honor, and they're going to kind of work together in that. They're going to find some common ground there. I don't
think they're going to find any common ground.
No?
I don't think they're going to find any common ground. I think this is a battle for who the top Mandalorian is.
I don't think so. Now, Mandalorians aren't that petty.
But Boba.
But we don't know Boba's character at all.
But you have to.
Django was that petty.
That's right.
But I don't think
he's
Boba
a clone of Django.
Yeah, but he was raised from a child. If he was raised from a child by the Death Watch and he was trained in the way, then he is not going to be.
Yeah, but he's old enough to have seen his father's head chopped off in front of him.
Yeah, but Din Djarin was old enough to see his parents get gunned down by droids.
Yeah, and it messes him up.
Yeah, but he still holds to the code of the way.
He holds to the code of the way, but he doesn't trust droids.
That's true. Yeah, but so Boba wouldn't trust Jedi, but he would trust another Mandalorian. I think they're going to be. I don't know.
We'll
honestly,
see. I think this is. After watching that first episode, you heard me.
Yeah.
We were watching it.
Yeah.
Me. I said, "Yo, Din Djarin is better than Boba Fett."
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When he took down that dragon.
Yeah.
He seals it for me he's there
great.
And then.
He's legit.
He is top dog in the Mandalorians, and I think it's going to be one of these situations. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
They are going to fight outright. They're going to straight up fight.
Yeah.
And Din Djarin is going to defeat him, and then he's going to give him information about where he needs to go to be able to help the kid.
Right, because they have they need somebody from the Mandalorian. Well, but he's got his armor already. And they haven't really explained that yet. If he just needs the armor to find the coordinates, or if he actually needs the knowledge from another Mandalorian, I don't know. And Boba's got that giant scar down his face, so who knows if he's all there anymore.
And the other thing, but he's not that messed up. He's got one big scar down his face.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen the rest of his body.
He's not that messed up.
Pit. Yeah, we'll see.
He looks like he came away from that pit pretty clean.
Well, he's Boba Fett.
I'm not impressed.
He's Boba Fett.
Unimpressed over here.
All right, be impressed by Ming-Na Wen. All right, so Ming-Na Wen, she's a Disney princess. She's a Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a superhero movie, and now she is a renowned assassin in a Star Wars TV show. She's done everything, right? Everything. So in the first season, she was left for dead out on Tatooine.
That's right, yeah.
And this is when the first time that fans thought Boba was back, because someone in Spurs came to get her, and Boba's famous for the spurs on his boots.
Right.
So, do you think Boba still has her alive? Is she going to be a big part of the second season? What do you think they're going to do with her?
Well, wasn't she scared of? I'm trying
to
remember.
She looked scared.
That. She looked
of who was coming.
Who was coming. Which is why I don't think Boba's this good character. I don't think he's going to be helping.
He's renowned in the bounty hunter world, so he's known as.
I get that, but his armor's renowned in the bounty hunter world, not his face.
Well, but if he's not a Mandalorian, then he might have taken it off.
You're right. You're right. That's
so
fair.
Who knows?
So,
yeah.
Here's the thing. I think. So she's a pretty big actress at this point.
She was only in it for 15 minutes.
Yeah, she wasn't in it that long. I don't know. I think that was to set up for Boba.
Yeah.
I think she's dead.
Okay, you think
he killed her.
Yeah.
I think he killed her.
Probably a fair point.
I wish there was more I could talk on that, but if I go with my gut, which that's what I'm going with. She's dead.
Or maybe he interrogates her to get information about this new Mandalorian on the planet.
Right.
So yeah, it's true. I hope not. Ming-Na Wen. I'm a big fan of Ming-Na Wen. I think she's great.
I'd like to believe that.
I'd love to see her more.
I'd love to see her back in it. I thought she did great. If
you're probably. I think I agree with you. You're probably right. All right. This is the real meaty stuff here that we have not a lot of basis to go on, but we're just gonna jump into theories here.
Yep.
So Ahsoka Tano, she has been confirmed, right? Rosario Dawson is playing her,
casting.
Right? Night Nurse from Daredevil and Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Fantastic actress. she has been confirmed to play Ahsoka Tano, but we don't have any idea
Give me some
like
great
what
makeup
she's
going
gonna
on
be
there,
in.
too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and their prosthetics have been so on point in this series that
I gotta say this before we hit that point.
Yeah.
This is the Star Wars we should have gotten
Oh,
for
yeah.
all the movies.
Oh
They've
yeah.
done so much better with all of the CGI,
So
with the
much
makeup, with everything. Nothing is rushed.
Yeah.
They've developed storylines. They've made it realistic. This is what we should have gotten for the movies,
Agreed.
not just for The Mandalorian. I mean, it's a shame.
Though we're loving the Mandalorian.
But we're loving the
it's so
Mandalorian.
good. All right.
So, yeah,
So Ahsoka,
Ahsoka.
what do you think? You know a little bit about Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Let me tell you tell me what you know.
Here's the
What do you
thing with
think?
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
At the end of Clone Wars,
Right.
She is neither Jedi nor Sith.
Right.
She is that in between. She is the balance in the Force. She
Right.
is that light in the Force. It goes to that episode where you see the embodiments of the dark side, the light, and then this neutral balance
Right.
that is in between the light and the dark. And she embraces that.
Mhm.
So she still is a Force wielder and a force to reckon with.
Yeah.
At that.
Her fight with Maul is so cool.
Yeah, she
Super cool.
is tough as nails.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that she's actually like confirmed, because
Yeah.
to see what they're gonna do with her.
Live action?
Live action.
So cool.
Here's my hope.
Yeah, I'm here.
We bring Darth Maul.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up
back.
too. Yeah, bring him back.
We pull
Oh
in.
yeah.
We pull in the Solo storyline.
Right.
With
He's still around.
the Crimson
Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Crimson Dawn.
Yep.
We bring that storyline in.
Yeah.
And we now can have an overlay between
Yeah.
the Solo early years
Yeah.
and bringing back Darth Maul, because
Spider legs.
there's one who I actually do respect is Darth Maul.
Oh, I love
He only
him.
got one episode.
He's my favorite
But
Sith.
my man, he looks nasty as all heck.
Yeah.
He is
The horns.
he's a force to reckon with.
Tattoos.
And his lightsaber skills
Red
with
skin.
the dual saber.
Oh, so cool.
Oh my
Bow
gosh.
staff saber.
Yeah, and bow staff saber.
So cool.
But here's the thing.
Super
oh my
impractical,
gosh.
but so cool.
The man, he kills the man that I love, Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Jinn.
You hate to see that happen.
But it was
to
a
see
great
him
way to go.
It was a great way to go.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get his just due with like getting killed by Obi the way he does.
Because he
So-
does it. Because he comes back with spider legs.
That's right. That's right.
So
Yeah, I really want to see
Yeah.
that happen.
Yes.
That is where
Agreed.
I want to see that go.
Yeah.
And maybe it's in Ahsoka and Mando breaking. I mean, I would like to see almost a whole season. Maybe it's just the end of this season, but devoted to them breaking down the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
And then eventually defeating and fighting against Darth Maul.
Yeah, I think if they're gonna bring Darth Maul into it, he's gonna either have to come in really soon in this season, because I think they're gonna have to develop him for a lot. Like I think
At
to
least
give him
show
justice,
him.
yeah,
At
they have to
least show
they have to
him.
start building him,
Yeah.
and they could,
Yeah.
and then maybe season 3 could be about the Crimson Dawn and them kind of trying to root them all out.
You know, we don't even know
Yeah.
in the first season who is buying the
child.
child.
It was Moff Gideon.
Well, yes, but who's Moff Gideon working for now?
Right. Yeah. So Moff. I don't. Yeah. And we'll get to Moff Gideon in a minute.
I'm not talking the person.
No, I know.
I'm
yeah.
talking
like
who's the organization.
The organization.
And at that point,
It could be Crimson Dawn.
It could be Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, and I guess he could. I just feel I don't know. Moff Gideon. We'll get into it more in a minute, but
You want Moff Gideon to be his own thing.
Yeah, only because if he has the ability to get the Darksaber, then
Yeah,
he's got to
that's
be
fair.
really tough. Like
Yeah.
he's got to be really big. And obviously Maul could be bigger than that because Maul is a fan favorite and he is ridiculously intense. But it's like, man, they got to play Moff Gideon out. I hope they play Moff Gideon out more before they would bring somebody in like Maul to take over for him.
Well, yeah,
maybe Maul could even
that's
be
what
like
I'm
his
saying.
mentor. Maybe Maul could be like
That's
his
what
mentor.
I'm. That's more what
That'd
I'm
be cool.
saying is
Yeah.
like like we
That'd
got
be cool.
Moff Gideon, and maybe my point is, I don't think Moff Gideon's the big bad here.
Right. There's
That's
something
my
bigger.
point.
Yeah.
Is that if they have Maul be the big bad in this, now we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would make sense. So you and I were talking about this earlier. It would make sense to bring him in, at least eventually, because if they bring Ahsoka in,
Right.
who's really going to be a good foil for her except somebody else who's a Force user?
Right.
And so, like, Din Djarin's going to have a real difficult time fighting a Sith.
Right.
But if he
Right.
has a Jedi with him, or if he has somebody who's a Force user with him, then they can kind of even the playing field a little bit.
So there you get your 2-on-2. You get a Moff Gideon
Oh, so
and Darth Maul
Din
and
Djarin
Din
versus
Djarin
Moff
and
Gideon.
Ahsoka. Yes.
Yeah. Again, it depends on how big they're going to be. They're going to make Moff Gideon.
I agree.
Because again, if he can take a Darksaber, I don't think Din Djarin has a chance. Like, there's something about he's going to need help to stop Moff Gideon. Like, he's going to need somebody to help him.
I don't know. I mean, we just saw him take down a dragon, and the
Yeah.
reality was he did that himself.
But
Those other people didn't do jack. in
yeah,
that.
but the dragon is a blunt trauma weapon, whereas someone with the Darksaber is a precision tool. Like, that's going to be able to outsmart him. That's going to be able to work around him.
He already outsmarted him once.
But he surprised him because he had a jetpack, and Moff Gideon was in a TIE fighter. Like, I'm saying if they come at each other with weapon on weapon, Moff Gideon's the better tactician.
Yes, you might have the point that like he can't take on these people by himself, but Ahsoka's more powerful than Moff Gideon and Darth Maul.
Right.
And
yeah.
so like you've got a more powerful Force user
to come with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see where
and
they
you know they don't fight side by side. You know Sith don't fight as a team.
Right. Yeah,
if they had Moff and Darth Maul go 2-on-2 against them, I think you're right. They would wipe them out.
Wow.
But that's not the way it's going to go. It's going to go Ahsoka and.
But they're not Sith. So I don't.
Yeah, but they operate. They operate like Sith.
Maul hates the Sith now because of how he was treated by Sidious. Because Dooku was taken. He tried to kill Dooku in order to, because he was so angry at Sidious, and then he wanted to kill Anakin so that Sidious's plan wouldn't work.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the mindset isn't.
It might. Yeah,
teamwork.
He might be.
The mindset isn't teamwork.
It's individual glory. Their flaw is their arrogance in it. So that's good. All right. So real quickly with Ahsoka. Possibility that she could still be Fulcrum, which was an alias she held when she worked with the Rebellion. And little side note in that theory, if she is Fulcrum, or if they're going down that avenue of her character, she was tasked to protect and deliver Force-sensitive children so that they wouldn't be kidnapped by the Empire. And so that could give her another reason to help Din Djarin out, because as a Jedi or as a Force balancer, she might not see a desire to help out a bounty hunter, but if she sees that he's protecting a Force-sensitive child, that might give her a reason to team up with him, which would be pretty cool.
Well, a team up after at first she second guesses him.
Oh, for sure.
Tries to take the child from him.
Right.
Tries to protect that whole storyline.
Yeah.
Trying to protect
the child.
you
actually care about him. Oh, I guess we'll be friends now. Best friends?
Yep, best friends.
Best friends. All right, good. So Darksaber and Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon is ridiculously strong,
right?
And
which then kind of like this whole thing defeats my argument of like going 1-on-1 with him.
Yeah.
But also reinforces.
Yeah.
Why?
Forces.
But why Ahsoka then may want to team up with him to then fight Moff Gideon. She may be hunting down Moff Gideon.
Ooh, yeah, she might be on his trail. Yeah, because so in the first season, Din Djarin made mention that Moff Gideon was on the siege of Mandalore. And so he was there during the Mandalorian Civil War, and he was there murdering Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So if he's been doing, if during that or after that he then took the Darksaber, and Ahsoka saw that happen, then she might be tracking him down.
Right. So their paths cross because
common enemy.
Ooh. Well, not even just common enemy. I mean, Moff is on Din Djarin's trail.
Right.
and
Oh, right.
Ahsoka is on
Moth's
Moth's Trail.
Yeah, then they just meet up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be cool. I love it. I hope so, man.
That is a good plan.
That is a good plan.
If
you heard it here first.
This is a good theory.
I hope they do it.
This is tight. This wasn't as far-reaching as I thought it was.
No, we tied it all together.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap up. We're going to wrap up comic news today with a real quick yeah or eh. We got 5 of them to go through. I want to see what Logan thinks about these. So here we go. Real quick, yeah or eh. Number 1, Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales' costume is going to be in the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That's sweet, right?
That's great.
Like with the hoodie and it's even disproportionate.
Yeah.
Like it looks like the cartoon version.
Yes. It's got the oh my gosh, it's the
hood.
The armored hood. Right?
No. It's just I'm talking about like it's literally gonna look like the movie Into the Spider-Verse, that animation style, as one of the suits you can wear.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even cooler than I thought. I was just thinking, right.
No, it's not.
Right.
The armored hood one is one that the cowl one we tweeted about that a while ago. But no, this is gonna be like Miles Morales right out of Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah,
that's
super
great.
fun.
That's super fun.
All right, you know about this one, but I love getting your reaction on these. Jared Leto's Joker is filming scenes in the Zack Snyder cut.
I can't anymore. I don't understand this. I mean, here's the thing. I love Jared Leto's Joker, but what is going on over there right now? This is not going to come together. This is exactly what I said would happen. This is exactly the problem. They were going to go and they were going to make all these reshoots. They said they weren't going to do reshoots. They said they already had all of the stuff in the can. They got lots of money. And then they got $40 million more. And now let's bring everybody back and just blow all this money. And now let's put out utter garbage. No, I hope I am wrong, but my gosh. When is this gonna end? When are we actually even supposed to see this thing?
I think it's like first quarter of 2021, so soon.
Oh my gosh, we're
gonna with all these reshoots, maybe not.
Hopefully, the Star Wars correction saga is done, and then we can roll right into the mess.
Well,
of this.
It's going to be the mini series, so we'll have time to do episode by episode. All right.
Gosh.
All right. Benedict Cumberbatch has been sighted in Atlanta starting to film for Spider-Man 3.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Well, first off, you had me at Benedict Cumberbatch. I didn't really need to hear anything after that.
All right. New leaked look at Marvel's Eternals on a product actually came out. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, it's like
you can't see much.
There's not much here.
You at least see the whole team.
You see the whole team,
which is kind of cool.
There's
some blue people, some green people, some yellow people. I mean, I don't know if it's actually their real colors. All right, I'd say to go in for the last.
You always do.
I always do. All right, Brandon Routh. He might return as Superman in the Flash movie.
No, I'm done.
He's gone.
Done. Log it off. Turn it all off. Turn it all off.
He was a good Superman.
No, he wasn't.
It was a bad movie, but he was a good Superman.
He was trash.
No, he was fine.
He was garbage.
You see him in Christ on Infinite?
No, yes, I saw him in Crisis on Infinite.
He was fine on that.
He was, yes, for a TV show.
Yeah.
For the Arrowverse, but no, don't bring him back. No,
give him
no, I'm not. No.
I thought it was gonna be a
no.
I guess.
Such a bad movie. All right, Legion fans, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Also, check out our Patreon for some extra videos to be able to get involved in some different ways. And also, most importantly, we are going to be digging into our Star Wars correction saga.
Coming soon.
So be on the lookout for some upcoming videos and some upcoming guest speakers.
That's right.
We're excited, and I hope you are too.
See you guys next time.